So please turn your attention to the screen as we introduce this year's inductees.
Since 1952, CSC members have recognized the best and brightest student athletes as academic All-Americans during their collegiate careers. In 1988, the Academic All-America Hall of Fame was established, and former student athletes were selected annually for their outstanding contributions after their collegiate careers. Academic All-America Hall of Fame inductees are part of an exclusive club. They represent some of the most talented and gifted people in diverse fields such as medicine, business, civil service, education, science, and the military, as well as a cross-section of the most accomplished athletes in history, from Olympians and world champions to all-stars and record breakers. Today, we add these 4 extraordinary inductees to our list. A 1999 Academic All-American and NUMAC All-Conference volleyball player at MIT, Dr. Alarice Lowe captained her team to 2 NCAA tournament appearances and graduated with multiple assist records. A biology major, she earned her medical degree from UC San Diego and completed her residency and fellowship at UCLA before joining the faculty at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Her groundbreaking work in circulating tumor cells and diagnostic technology has earned national recognition. Now an associate professor of pathology at Stanford, Dr. Lowe also contributes to global initiatives focused on youth development, poverty, and HIV through organizations like Servant Partners and Compassion International. 3-time Olympian Catherine "Cat" Osterman enters the Hall of Fame as one of the most decorated and dominant softball players in the sport's history. The dominant left-handed pitcher and 2003 Academic All-American led Texas to 3 Women's College World Series and is the only player to win USA Softball National Player of the Year 3 times. A 3-time Olympic medalist, she won 4 professional league titles. Since 2013, she's volunteered with RBI Austin, providing year-round sports training, academic support, mentorship, and leadership development for middle and high school youth in the Austin, Texas area. Today, she's a softball analyst and serves as general manager for the Volts in Athletes Unlimited. A trailblazer in college women's athletics, Jenepher Shillingford dedicated 5 decades to advancing opportunities for women in sport. She competed in field hockey, soccer, and tennis at Ursinus College prior to the Academic All-America program's creation. A 1954 graduate, she became a national team field hockey goalkeeper and went on to a distinguished career in coaching and administration at Ursinus, the University of Pennsylvania, Immaculata, and Bryn Mawr. She led USA field hockey and women's lacrosse, helped guide the U.S. Olympic field hockey delegation in 1996, and served on the NCAA Council and NACDA Executive Board. In 1999, she co-founded the Snell Shillingford Symposium, which continues to develop future women leaders in sports. A 2-time Academic All-American and legendary scorer, Jackie Stiles led Southwest Missouri State, now Missouri State, to the 2001 Final Four. That season, she was a consensus All-American, won the Wade Trophy as National Player of the Year, and earned the Honda Award Broderick Cup as Collegiate Woman Athlete of the Year. She became the first NCAA Division I women's player to score 1,000 points in a season, finishing her career with a record-setting 3,393 points. She was drafted 4th overall in the 2001 WNBA draft, earning Rookie of the Year honors. Later, turning to coaching, she was named the Missouri Valley Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Century and inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Today, she trains and mentors athletes through her company, J. Stiles Total Training. Ladies and gentlemen, the CSC Academic All-America Hall of Fame Class of 2025.
here, I just wanted to give a shout out. Any CSC member who has successfully nominated an academic All-America, will you please stand up? That has helped someone in your college get this award? Good, in the back, here we go. Oh, look at everybody. This is a long process, and it is a great honor for these people, so thank you so much for taking time to do that. Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you guys? Okay, so Kat, I have to ask you first. I was doing the winning interview with Tegan Kavan after Texas won the national championship, and you popped in my mind because you got there 3 times, and they never gave you enough run support, no offense, to win the championship. And so in my interview with Tegan, did you hear me say your name?
Yes, I did.
I wanted your name to be said because you got them there and helped build that foundation. Oh, gosh, now I'm crying all the time. Damn it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I wanted you to hear your name in that moment because you helped build it. What was it like for you to see your alma mater, after all you've given to Texas, win it all?
Obviously, I was ecstatic. I was heartbroken I couldn't be there, but I had general manager duties with our new pro league. But I was texting the girls before every game, you know, probably not the nicest text saying, hey, it's a good day to break some people's hearts. But, you know, I have poured so much into Texas and have supported it since I left. I bleed burnt orange. I was a middle schooler that chose Texas before I really chose softball. And so it's something that I'm super passionate about. But Tegan especially is very special to me. Her and I, I'm going to cry now, created a good relationship her freshman year. And so have had some really tough and good conversations with her, but just proud. I was so proud of them. We've knocked on the door so many times. It was their 8th trip there.
Right.
We got a good number
Yes.
going with that one. But I'm just so proud. I've watched that program up and down and go through it all, and I've loved them all through it, and so I was super proud.
Okay. And you were at the AUSL launch yesterday, sold out crowd, as MLB has now invested in that sport, so that's pretty exciting. Okay, let's get to the real questions here. I've got to stay on track or Barb's going to yell at me. Let's start for a question for all of you. So I want to start with you, Ali, because you go to MIT, and I can't imagine you had any spare time to do anything, and yet you play volleyball. How were you able to balance academics and athletics?
Luckily at MIT, we actually have a very defined time, only between 5 and 7 when we're allowed to practice, actually, because we have other things that we need to do in other spaces. But it was really a great opportunity to just focus on sports during that time and be able to have the other moments to just focus on everything else. We did try and get sleep, and we did our best to work hard in all the different spaces that we were in and allocate and try and divide our time and energies to the different things that we were committed to.
So, you know, you've had to combine, you're a pathologist.
Yes.
Just, you know, no big deal. Saving people's lives, studying disease, cancer, and other things. How have you been able to combine, you know, discipline, sports, and be really good at what you're doing in a very difficult field?
I think it was only through my experiences in sports and then wanting to really get to the best of my ability in whatever level I was. I'm not as tall as these folks here. I kind of actually wanted to stand. I was sad when you brought that 3rd chair out. I was like, oh, okay. But we all have our gifts and our abilities, and we really do our best in whatever spaces we have. And that's where I feel like I can do this contribution to the world through medicine and science, but also trying to do my best in my space in volleyball, which would be a setter. And that's where I just feel like everyone has a contribution that they can give in their different spaces, and we can do our best to contribute in those ways.
I love that you said that. You are doing work with youth development, legal assistance, social justice, and the fight against poverty and HIV. Tell us, you say it like, oh, I'm just working to help young people. No, this is very specific, high-level work. What are you doing that we can be inspired by?
Well, I'm just very thankful for all the different gifts that I've been given and the resources that I've been given, and we really feel especially inspired about urban poverty and just health equity, and just improving quality of life for folks. And so that's where it's either through my research and trying to figure out best ways to make really good diagnosis with minimal cost, for folks and really helping to increase their health status. Or honestly, sometimes it's just like financially giving to a lot of different spaces that we know are doing good work in the world. And I feel really appreciative to have the opportunity to just participate in all different ways in all these different spaces.
That's beautiful. Okay, I want to move back to Kat for just a second. Long storied history of the University of Texas. You are the first Longhorn to be inducted into the Academic All-America Hall of Fame. That is a big deal. And I don't know if you all noticed, this is our first class of all women. So how, you've won a lot of awards through your career. How does this honor, and knowing that you're the first Longhorn to receive it, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I was surprised to learn that I was the first Longhorn. When I chose to go there, and everyone kind of asked why, because the softball program was fairly new, my answer was always it was the perfect balance of great athletics and great academics. And I got that, and obviously have been able to carry that through, and that's where I feel like this award really attributes to that. Obviously, I stayed more in the softball space, didn't go do anything with my degree, actually, but I'm proud of it, and I'm always proud to be a Longhorn, so I am proud to be the first, hopefully not the last, and there's some more coming, but I think this is a different award when you talk about where does it sit. It's really hard to place it above a gold medal or some of the Player of the Year awards, but because it honors a completely different side of me with more of the academic piece, it's truly something that, one, I don't know that I ever dreamt I would be up here receiving an academic award, but then once they contacted me, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I got to see the class, and I have her rookie card, by the way, because I was a hoopster first. So I have the entire first season of WNBA card. So when her name was on the thing, I was like, I have her rookie card. That's pretty
That's
cool.
probably worth a lot of money right now, I would think. Yeah.
But it was also to be recognized with other athletes that obviously academically took care of business, but have just gone on to do amazing things in their career. It's humbling. So it ranks up there. I can't say it outdoes a gold medal, but for it being a completely different part of me, I think it's a great honor.
She just casually is like, and I also have a gold medal, just casually. The thing that people may not know about you is, so you win a gold medal in 2004, silver in 2008, and then you just come out of retirement. I think you were 30, were you 30?
37.
37, to win a spot on the 2020 Olympic roster. It's never been done in softball, pitching like that. How were you able to do that and accomplish it at such a high level?
Yeah, softball was taken out of the Olympics after 2008, and so therefore internationally, a lot of us technically retired internationally, but kept playing professionally. I retired professionally in 2015 altogether, and once we got back in the Olympics, just kind of felt like there was unfinished business. It took a lot of dedication. My husband's here with me tonight. He became a bullpen catcher, and he did not play college baseball. Up until I had to throw 3 or 4 times a week, and then he said, you need to find somebody else. But obviously balancing what it took to train again at that age. But it was also a lot of doing it on my own. He's blessed with genetics. He doesn't work out with me, so I was working out by myself, running by myself. But it was just a drive to continue to be the best at what I do in the space I take up, and wanted to give it one more go with Team USA. And I'm grateful I did, because again, I got to kind of connect with a younger generation of our softball athletes, and now that's kind of the same group I'm leading with AUSL. So it's been a full circle moment, but it was a rewarding one.
It's really special. Okay, Jackie Stiles, I don't know if you'll think this is a compliment or not, but you were Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark. Is that a compliment? Your name, we didn't even have the internet then, and you were so big.
You're making me blush, for sure.
You were so big and so famous, and this is a tiny school in the middle of the country. A lot of people hadn't heard of it until you came along. You were one of the first women to have a statue in this country of any kind. What was so special about your journey as not only an athlete and setting all those records, but as an academic All-America now?
Well, it's really hard to put in words what it means to be an academic All-American, and the only way you do something like that is you have an incredible support staff, and so many people are responsible for me achieving this. You know, I can't even go into names, there's so many people, but one of those was Coach Burnett, and she's shocked that I became such a great student because my mom tried to get me to apply myself in the academic realm, and I just would never do it, but Coach Burnett said, you apply yourself academically or you don't play, and a great leader takes you places you can't go on your own, and that was Coach Burnett for me, and she taught us that it's how you do everything, and so you have to give it your very best, and I've taken that on through the rest of my life, is even though some things you don't enjoy doing, you have to give your very best at even the things that maybe you aren't as passionate about.
I love that because you know it didn't come naturally to you, but you applied yourself. There's a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything, and you've all three obviously done everything very well. As we're honoring this class, your career accolades are incredible. NCAA scoring champion, National Player of the Year, WNBA Rookie of the Year, Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Century, casual, and on and on and on and on. So now you add this to your list of things that you've done. Again, that's special. Why are you proud of this in a different way, perhaps?
Again, I'm just so proud because, you know, my mom, again, tried to get me to work hard in the classroom, and I never did. And then, you know, when I really put effort towards it, I was able to become an academic All-American, you know, so it means so much. And I actually told my second grade teacher that I was going to play professional basketball one day. Of course, she looked at me like I was crazy because the WNBA did not even exist. And so it was just, basketball was what I had such a huge passion for. And so to be able to get this honor and to be able to achieve my dream of playing you know, professional basketball, it's just so hard to put into words what it means.
Well, I want to just say thank you and congratulations to all of you because you are trailblazers, our first all-female class. But more than that, what you have done for women and women's sports, pathology, I mean, come on. But the where we are now, we're getting 18 million people watching a college women's basketball game. Think about that. 18 million people. We just had a softball game on our air, Tennessee UCLA, peak at 3.9 million viewers for softball. So what ownership do you take that you have helped create this beautiful boom that will benefit so many other women?
Well, it's so exciting to see, you know, everybody tune in. And I obviously am invested in Caitlin Clark. I read an article where she asked who was the first school to recruit her. And so Missouri State started recruiting me first. They saw me play when I was 12 years old, started writing me letters. So I remembered the power of that. I ended up going to Missouri State. So I actually saw Caitlin play in middle school, and I wrote her a letter. And so then she actually said that Missouri State was the first to recruit her, but unfortunately she didn't become a Bear. So I've always really followed her career, and it's just, she should be celebrated, what she's done for the game. It's just absolutely incredible. Quick story, so when I played the WNBA, obviously the salaries weren't like the men, but we did travel and we got to stay in the most incredible hotels, you know, like the Ritz-Carlton. And after one of the games, I didn't eat right after the game, and there was no way I was going to order room service at the Ritz-Carlton, you know, way too expensive. And we would get per diem when we traveled, and so every day, and so we kind of try to eat cheap and save that money, you know, because like I said, we weren't making, you know, huge salaries at the time. And so there was a couple of my teammates that we went to, you know, get some protein bars from our trainer, and she's like, you know, there's Wendy's not too far from here. And so we were like, okay, we'll just call a car to take us to the Wendy's. Well, you know, we didn't realize that the Ritz didn't allow just any, you know, cabs to come up to the entrance. So a limo pulls up. And this limo driver is like, where do you guys want to go? And we're like, well, to the Wendy's late night window, basically, you know. And he's like, that's the only place you all want to go? And we're like, yep. So by the time we ordered off the Wendy's late night window and took a limo there, we should have just ordered room service. It would have been cheaper. But it's something that I'll never forget. So, but hopefully now the girls, you know, they can order room service because they're getting paid, you know, a lot more money. So
that's amazing. All right, before we get out of here, I just wanted you to plug AUSL. It's the new softball league. MLB is investing in it. You guys actually just started yesterday. I didn't even know how you were going to have time to get here because you all were playing yesterday. What's important about that and this new opportunity for women in softball?
Yeah, for the first time, softball has a consistent platform financially, support, all of it. So we don't have teams, the one team being treated right, one team that's, kind of making ends meet. So all our athletes actually get a true professional experience. But yeah, we kicked off 2 days ago. My Volts are now 2-0. They're going to play tonight here in about an hour. So hopefully they can get win number 3. But the MLB partnership is huge. They're putting us on MLB TV. They're putting us on MLB.com almost every game if ESPN is not covering it. And it's the first time that every game of a softball pro league has been streamed or accessible without pay to our viewers. And so it is the new big thing for softball. It is the moment for us right now. And so it is kicked off this past weekend and is going through the end of the summer.
I love it. Well, from saving lives, empowering young people, continuing to lift women in every space you're in, please join me one more time in honoring this academic American Hall of Fame class of 2025.